Elsie,
Hi.
what was it that made you decide to come out?
I think I always wanted to act, like, ever since I was little. But you know when you're a little girl and, like, everybody just wants to be an actress? Like, when you're little, everyone is like, I want to be an actor, I want to be an actor, I want to be on TV, blah, blah. And I always knew I wanted to do it, and I sort of, like, grew up seeing it because my dad was a director, and I always wanted to get into it, but then I started just feeling like, no, like I can't do that. Like I have no idea how to do this. How am I supposed to do this? And then I started modeling, and then I was like, no, I actually really want to do this. And so I started doing it when I was like 17.
Who would you say your biggest inspiration was?
Just, I mean, like the greats. Like I remember once I decided I actually really want to do this, I sat down and I watched, like, I studied like all of the greats, like my favorite actresses: Faye Dunaway, Meryl Streep, Angelina Jolie, Kate Blanchett, Kate Winslet, like all of these women that are just like that. Like I can't even, I don't even understand how they do it. I'm still trying to figure it out. I have so much to learn, but there are definitely so many women that I look up to that inspire me every day in that realm.
Yeah.
I'm like right down here and they're like up there.
What would you say drew you to the project?
Well, first off, Vanessa was already a part of it. We both received, like, we got the auditions separately and we were both working on separate things. And then we both ended up taping for it, and I knew that she was a part of it, and we sort of just like discussed it and got really into it. And when we both read it, I think it was very easy for us to like access this place that we needed to go. And I don't know, like I connected with the material pretty early on. They gave us, I auditioned like 11 pages of dialogue for my audition.
Yeah.
And it was like so easy for me to memorize it and get it down. And I feel like that's how I know if I'm connecting to something.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what drew me to it, was just it was resonating pretty early on.
So do you feel like you really connected with Irene?
Yes and no, but like any reason that I wasn't was like I was interested to explore why, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What was the biggest challenge for you playing this role?
I think finding a balance between bringing enough of myself into it to make it feel real, and bringing the parts of myself that connects to her, but also creating this history for her in my mind of like why she is the way that she is, and like finding a balance where it still felt really natural. Because you know, she grew up super religious, and I mean, I connected to her on so many levels with like her family and her history and her trauma and all of that, but like the parts that I didn't quite understand yet, finding a balance to still make her feel real and like bring her to life, kind of. And I'm not a very like shy, awkward, timid, conservative person, so I enjoyed playing that.
Did you develop like a specific process to get into the Irene character?
I think it kind of just happened. And obviously like acting with Vanessa really helped me. And I see a lot of Vanessa in Molly. And I do see a lot of myself in Irene. So I think just like bringing those parts of me forward and trying to make everything just feel really real, but not trying too hard. And like keeping this like trauma like surface level and like being able to access it but not dive too deep into it. I guess that was part of it.
Was there anything specific you had to research to play the role?
I researched like comas a lot and like what happens when you're in a coma, and like waking up, and like how would that feel, and how conscious are you when you're in a coma, just little things like that.
What sort of person do you think will connect the most to Irene?
Probably somebody who's maybe who doesn't realize they're like stuck in this very like compartmentalized way of living, or like, I don't know, just like stuck in like a pattern of living, but they want to break out of it. Like, I think that she needed that and she didn't realize how badly she needed it. And then she met Molly and this whole thing happened and so much growth happened there and she didn't realize that she needed it. So maybe, and you know, when you're little, you don't like, nobody has control over the situation that they're born into, and she was born into a specific family. She had specific parents, a specific type of mother, upbringing, religion, all these things, and we all are born into something that we can't control. And so she was living by that for so long and needed to break out of it, but I don't think she knew.
I think Molly really helped Irene grow into herself.
Yeah. And just being in this life or death in between world where they had no choice but to figure it out.
Yeah.
And like face these fears and these like demons and these subconscious like monsters and all of your fears that you don't even realize you have. They're like staring you right in the face. All of that. I think it needed to happen for her to like grow and be really, really strong, but she didn't know it yet.
I think every Irene needs a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Elsie needs a Vanessa, but there's not a lot of Elsies, and there's not a lot of Vanessas.
All right, I think they need
Is that
to be
it?
set, but thanks.
That's the end?
That's the end.